Pick your winner. Which president and former president is it? Donald John Trump, who is meeting with the Bitcoin miners, who is bringing together a Bitcoin council and has said, we want Bitcoin to be made in America? Or is your champion of crypto, Joseph Robinette Biden, who is now taking crypto donations for his campaign? Is this the election of crypto? Is this the Bitcoin election? A lot of people are saying that. We're going to discuss that. Also, ETF flows have turned positive yet again. So where is all this sell pressure coming from? Might have an answer for you. We'll discuss that. We'll take a look at some charts. We'll take a look at what XRP is doing and enhancing their XRP ledger to EVM and Ethereum. What does that mean? Big Solana and Circle news as the USDC stablecoin continues to grow on the Solana network. Will Solana be the king of stablecoins? And what is the all-time high price potential for Solana? We'll have that discussion there as well. And much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, and stale information and repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy Sin City entertainment kind of way. You know what? A lot of volatility in Bitcoin.
A lot of volatility in my voice,
went
too.
Down and we went down and elbow tapped the 65K mark.
Wow.
Yesterday we were sniffing around 70K. Can you stop with the sound effects, please? But either way, I think that there's indecision in the markets on which way, but the volatility is there. So I feel like we are primed for a breakout. We're just trying to figure out what direction is this thing going to move. Are we going to go, up and to the right or down and to the right?
Either way, Robin, the price will go on.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
I think I made a mistake. I think I made a big mistake. See you laughing back there. Don't worry. You have she has 22 more hours.
Do I have
Damn
24 hours or do I have 12? What did we agree on?
You have 22 more hours.
Ooh.
If you've been paying attention to the Twitter, X, whatever the hell we call it nowadays, Ashley has taken control of Twitter for 24 hours. Ashley?
Yeah. Anyways, it's funny. You do know that when you ask for a raise, I'm the treasurer, right? You understand that. So be nice to me over the next 22 hours. All jokes aside, guys, if you're not sure what we're talking about, go on our X handle, Sin City Crypto 1, and in a few short seconds, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's go cut right to it.
No,
so
that's
this
not.
One
I don't want to.
This one is here. I've been holding on to this one for far too long. Enjoy. And that was, what was it? CVO Crypto put on here. What did he say? He said a live look at. Oh, here it is. Oh, this was a good one. You are now a meme, sir. How do you feel about that? So you're a meme. Live footage of me in December 2021. BTC dropped from 69 to 42.
I wouldn't be too comfortable laughing over there. I'm sure she's got something on you too over there, buddy. Anyways, we like to have fun here in the studio. It's like ETF issuers have fun buying and selling the ETFs, as we saw 100 million in inflows yesterday after 2 consecutive days of negative outflows. Fidelity led the way with 50.6 million in inflows, BlackRock 15.6, 14.5 million from Bitwise, and 8.5 million of inflows from ARK Invest. Everything else was zero, including Grayscale. Zero is good for Grayscale because typically when we see numbers from Grayscale, it is red. So we saw nothing, which brought a cumulative total to 100.8 million in inflows of the ETF. Now, Robin, we spoke about this yesterday. People like Raoul Paul are saying, hey, look, a lot of these people that are buying and selling these ETF are arbitrageurs. We haven't even seen retail yet. We haven't even seen the high-level institutions yet. What do you think these, and of course we're speculating here, right? But what do you think these inflows are going to look like 6 months from now? 3 months from
You
now,
know,
a year from now.
what I'm excited about, and I know we're seeing the flows, or we're getting net inflows, right, on average, and particularly as of lately, we've seen a host of days that signal inflows, just a couple outliers of outflows. Now, but what I'm looking for is that euphoric craze in the market. And what's that measure? Well, it's very simple. It's volume here. And so what I'm looking for is the volume that we had here back in March, where we were up $10 billion in 24-hour volume on these spot ETFs. We haven't really seen that lately. So I do believe that the volumes are going to come back. Do you think that we're going to see volumes 4x essentially where we were back in March here in the near future?
So 40 billion?
No. Right now we're at
A 4x from now.
yeah. We're about 2 billion daily volume.
Oh, yeah. I think
we'll get back to 10
I think we'll get to the teens, 15, 20 billion.
within the next, say, like 2 months.
I don't know about the next 2 months, but I think in the next 6 months.
Because basically from it's not like it was a long time ago. I mean, you have from May to June was the suppression on volume, and so it wasn't that long ago. So
I do want to say though, I do want to say one thing is with the election, two things are going to happen. The obvious, right? Either Biden's going to get reelected or we're going to get a new president, right? So I think a lot of hey, we're going to prop up the markets, S&P's making all-time highs, a Fed rate cut. You have senators like Elizabeth Warren reaching out to Jerome Powell saying, hey, cut the rates, cut those rates. So they're propping up the economy. They want to make everything look good for reelection. If Biden wins, he's some people call it a lame duck president, right? So whatever he does over the next 4 years is not really going to matter. One, he might not be around after the 4 years because he's getting up there in age. It's just a cycle of life, But also, there's going to be no consequences, right? It's not going to make a decision where he's going to be like, oh, I can't do that. I won't win re-election. He can't run again. You have that. You also have the next one, President Donald Trump. If he wins, same thing. He comes in, can't run again. People might start to enter the market, make money, remove money out of the market as we get into the new candidacy. Because whoever wins, and we're excluding, of course, RFK, because I think an independent has ever won. No, a non-Republican or Democrat, I don't think has ever won the presidency, right? And you can fact check me on that.
They have not, but we did have.
We came very close.
No, we had a governor that did it. I don't know if it was Arnold but
he was president.
No, I know that. Well, what I'm saying is that we've had it happen before in Congress. I don't know if it was a governor or senator, but it has historically happened. It's just a very, very, very small chance. Maybe it was Jesse Ventura. I'll take a look.
But they didn't win the presidency.
No. It's just only.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that it has happened before in politics, in U.S. politics.
No, I mean on the highest level.
Yeah, of course. But where I'm getting at is that it can happen, and it has happened in some of in Congress. And so we find ourselves in a situation where maybe a president gets dethroned. I say no. At least maybe things change in the future, but I mean, right now, maybe in this election, the next election, I don't see it. But maybe people get fed up enough. I mean, the Fed is pretty much broken our monetary system. That coupled with politics, and maybe people just want change and understand that whether or not you vote Republican or Democrat, not much is realistically going to change as far as how the country runs financially and the economy. I do think that certain candidates are probably better than others, but the thing is even if Trump, like for me, I'm our business is crypto, our show is crypto. So for me, I'm going to lean whatever candidate is going to be more beneficial for our space because it's my livelihood. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who gets elected. Neither one of them are going to be able to fix our economy or the financial infrastructure or the fractionalized banking reserve or the out of control debt or the spending or the balance.
Robin, they can lay the groundwork. but it's going to take decades. It's going to take a long time.
But yeah, but even then, you would still have to unwind the debt, right? You'd have to crash. So even if someone did come in and start it off, nobody wants to come in as president and then go through the world's toughest depression, right? And reset our
Well,
financial system.
But what I'm trying to say, though, and I said earlier, is guess what? If either of those two win, they can't get reelected. So this is their last term. So are they really going to care?
Of course, it's reputation. You don't want to be known like okay.
Do you think Biden cares about?
So in 2000, no. Here's the thing: in 2008, Bush was on his second term. That was when the economy had crashed, and there's some documentaries on when Bush was in office during the 2008 financial crisis, and he was out there saying like, "Hey man, I don't want to be the president that leads our country into the second depression." And I think
Biden can't even rephrase that sentence.
it doesn't matter. Okay. So hypothetically, could you just say F the country, F the economy, we'll just let everything fail, let the banks fail and go into straight chaos? Of course you can sit here and say, well, you're not up for re-election, so yeah, why not do it? But the reality is nobody's going to do that. Even if I was president, I wouldn't do that. And so the thing is that the system has been leveraged up to a point where there's no way out, right? And so you have one option as a country in the direction is to reset defaults on debt, let the banks go under, clear out all of our debt, start over again, and then maybe adopt a better financial policy. That's not going to happen. And so, I mean, if
look, I'm of course throwing crazy hypotheticals. I agree with you. I don't think anyone's going to say screw everything, but I'm just saying there's less incentive to do the best possible job you can because, hey, you got nothing to run on and worry about. But I don't want to get too far into that conversation. I want to talk about this. Biden administration in talks to accept crypto donations as it becomes increasingly important voter issue. Very interesting. And I think this tweet post from Nick Carter sums it up very well. Under Biden, his administration, which includes his appointed chair of the SEC, Gary Gensler, bullied the banks into dropping crypto clients, engaged in lawfare against every major exchange and token project, harassed Bitcoin miners, forced a great number of high-quality projects and stablecoins abroad, refused to clarify securities law while haphazardly enforcing it, blackballed the Bitcoin ETF until the court forced approval, made DeFi illegal, participating DAOs very risky, made blockchain privacy effectively illegal, refused to let banks touch crypto, so on, and so on. And they have the absolute temerity to think we're going to donate crypto to the campaign. Let's take a look at outside of just the base layer. To me, this says that love it or hate it, right? You're at the end of the day, you're gonna have to take a stance on crypto. It's gonna come up. You're gonna get asked about it. People are already campaigning on it, right? Trump is pretty much campaigning on it. Will Biden start campaigning on it? We know the SEC's approval of the ETF, the Ethereum ETF. With everything we're seeing now, it is so obvious that it was a political move. It was so obvious. How did we go from the Bitcoin ETFs being approved and then literally 2 days later going live to now 2 days before the deadline, everyone's in shambles because, oh my God, they're going to approve it. And now we need another 3 months to get everything in order to launch the ETFs. It's just, it reeks of, hey, Gary, yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and approve this ETF. I need something to stand on when I get asked questions about crypto when I campaign.
But the curious discussion, though, is if he approved at the stroke of midnight, or if he guided the SEC to say, hey, we would like this ETF approved, then why veto the SOB 121 bill? I mean, I guess maybe it's a directive from the SEC, so they don't want to backstab them, I guess. Would be one take. But for me, I'm just like, if you're going to be this pro-president, why are you shooting down, pro-crypto president, then why are you shooting down?
Because he doesn't want to be a pro-crypto president, Robin.
That's obvious. But the thing is people are going to see right through it. People are going to see right through it because The thing is like if he takes a podium and he's asked about crypto and Bitcoin, I mean, what's his answer going to be? I mean, I think at this point he's going to be
The
supportive.
2 ETFs we've ever had were under my administration. You can say that.
True. Yeah. I mean, but I think he's just gonna. I think he's gonna leave it there though. And so you have Trump coming in, and Trump is actively discussing CBDCs. He's talking about the industry moving offshore. He's talking about the miners being based here in the U.S. There's a lot of in-depth discussion on different things that the U.S. could do. Not just simply, oh, hey, we got an ETF. You can buy crypto here. Like, cool. That, you know what? It's fine. We've always been able to buy crypto. Now you just let the entitled people buy crypto. But I mean, realistically, before Biden got in office, up until today, last year, 2 years ago, tomorrow, I can buy Bitcoin my damn self. It's not like he just flipped the switch and just made crypto legal. It's always been here. You just offer it on the stock exchange, which was well needed. I'm not saying, I'm not underplaying that as an important milestone for us. But I mean, realistically, man, you know what? This is the future of finance. And you know what? America and the United States is the leader in global trade. They're the leader in economy, GD, you know, and the gross domestic product. And so why not be at the forefront, right? We were the leader when it came to the internet age, right? And there was a very small hesitation when the internet first came out. They tried to put in some regulations. There was like some lawyers, you know, they put in like provisions for lawyers where they still had to use traditional letters instead of emails. And so when the industry was young, they almost dropped the ball. They almost screwed that up. And then at some point, politicians stepped up. They're like, hey, man, we can't let this internet thing go abroad. Now you have companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple. And imagine if they would have been forced to go overseas. They would have never came back, right? They would have built their headquarters in Germany and in South Korea and Japan, and they would have grown their empires there. And then they would have had, at that point, you're not going to relocate the whole damn thing and come back to America 10 years later when you decide to be internet friendly. We're in the same damn spot. And so if you just simply say, okay, well, you can use the internet, but you can't build a company here. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's where they're doing. That's where we're at. We're being told, they're telling anyone in the industry, okay, look, you can buy Bitcoin. We'll let one exchange operate, Coinbase. That's it. That's the only one. And then we'll offer, you can buy it on the stock market. Everything else, we're just going to sue you. And then you're going to sit here and take campaign donations as you literally, you're pushing out the industry.
The gall of this man.
You're pushing out the craziness is that we're pushing out the crypto industry.
Robin,
We're pushing out the crypto industry. We're saying, we don't want you here. Kraken, we're suing you. Coinbase, we're suing you. Binance, we're suing you. CZ, we're suing you. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Nobody is safe. Everything's a security. There's a list of securities released by the SEC that's, 20 projects long. That's just in the last calendar year. You got Cardano in there. They didn't even clarify. They still have yet to clarify if Ethereum's a commodity. I mean, I guess it's a foregone conclusion, but I mean, let's just set things straight. Let's build this damn thing up here from the ground up in the United States. And then we're supposed to donate to Biden after all of this. They're expecting it to donate crypto. I want to know, like, if you have crypto, that means obviously you have some kind of education in crypto, at least a little bit of something.
unless you only have meme coins.
Yeah, even then you still had to KYC onto an exchange. Like, you still had to go and set up a seed phrase. Like, you had to have done the slightest amount of crypto,
research.
Research, or at least just the ins and outs of getting into crypto. And so obviously you're aware of crypto in some sense, and you got to know that crypto is really, the U.S. is not crypto friendly, and you have the active president here. And so for me, I just said that anybody that has crypto, nobody would ever donate to them. Now, there might be some outliers, but when we look at this at the end of the campaign, at the end of the election, how much money was raised by Trump versus Biden in the form of cryptocurrency? I would bet my house that Trump is going to be ahead by a mile, by a factor of tenfold.
I will also bet your house. You know, I like giving up your house.
You love leveraging my house. It's great.
It's all about leverage, baby. 100x. I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but obviously, as Rob mentioned, for us at least, we've poured everything into the studio, all of our money, all of our time, giving Ashley raises every 3 weeks,
Shut up.
and watching her post hilarious videos of you and try to embarrass you. But the point is this: is we have a stake in this industry, and we want to support the people that support our industry. Now, I understand with politicians, I don't trust any of them. I don't trust 90% of what comes out of their mouth. I don't trust. At the end of the day, I look at what are they doing versus what have they done. And I think the answer is clear as far as crypto, right, being one issue. If RFK had a chance, I would vote for that man. I think he goes more in depth, less pandering, because he actually puts out, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how I believe blockchain can fix it. The other two are just like, yeah, we're going to mine all the Bitcoin in the US, or hey, donate crypto to me. At the end of the day, which one's going to be more pro crypto? It's going to be better for your wallet, for your family, and better for your business if you have a stake in crypto. Speaking of having a stake, Legacy Network has a stake with Sin City Crypto because they're a channel sponsor, and today's show is brought to you by them. Beta version is coming out on the Legacy Academy app, where you'll be able to do some self-improvement, time management, business, anything you want to do in a fun and educational way. And you can make money with their LGCT token that is going to be launching soon. Join the Telegram, stay up to date on everything happening within Legacy Network. So big thank you to them for supporting the channel. Now, I did mention that where's all the selling coming from? Why is price going down? Well, we might have one answer. Bitcoin miners are under pressure and they're selling. This is according to Crypto Quant. According to Crypto Quant update on Thursday, there's been an uptick in mining pool transfers and OTC desk sales for BTC. Now, I did kind of go a little bit in depth about this I believe it was this week or last week, where I believe there was, what was that number? 5,200 Bitcoin on the OTC desks. A lot of these institutions, BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, when they're getting ready to buy large amounts of Bitcoin, they first go to OTC desks because they don't want to affect the price directly of the asset, being Bitcoin. If they go to the order books, they're going to affect the price. They're trying to buy $1 billion worth or $500 million worth. There's going to be slippage, and they're probably not going to get the best value for what they're trying to buy, so they go OTC. Miners also sell into OTC because they don't want to crash the price. So you have both things working, and we're really going to start seeing the price move rapidly. I'm talking $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 clips at a time once that OTC desk starts to run dry. And it looks like miners are continuing, or at least starting to sell. I also have this I want to share with you as well. On the bullish side of things, Michael Saylor is at it again, Robin, as he is raising $500 million of convertible senior notes. And we'll take a wild guess what he's going to do with that money. He ain't buying a pizza factory. He's buying Bitcoin.
Wow. That's a hot take, man. You put two and two together there. Wow.
Hey, not only am I a good singer, but I'm a good two and two together putter.
Wow. Yeah. That whatever that was there too. That was good. Now.
All right, miners selling. Of course, Robin, we speculate all the time on the show. We're a talk show, right? We're a talk show. We give you information. We give you news. We like to give you our opinions, right? We're not always right. We're not always wrong. We assumed we were going to see quicker acceleration in price due to the ETF. That didn't play out. We saw massive outflows from Grayscale. And now we figured, hey, with the halving, 900 to 450, less mining, less selling pressure from the miners. They know what's coming around post-halving, markets pump, sitting on more Bitcoin. It's not really happening. So what's your forecast and what are your thoughts on what has transpired and what you believe will transpire moving forward?
When it comes to the miners, I mean, at the end of the day, they're a business, so they have operating expenses, not to mention they're trying to expand. Right now, we're in an arms race scenario, and we're seeing headline after headline where these miners are buying more and more ASICs, or they're taking out loans. And so there are certain times in the market where miners are incentivized to hold. And if you know that you're going through a parabolic run up and you're mining, you know what? You can probably sit on it for a period of time. But at the end of the day, they're businesses. They're also the big miners, the top five, I think it is. They're publicly traded companies, and so they have profit and loss. They have to sell. Like, it's not even an option. They can't. It's a far cry from your traditional investor that has exposure to Bitcoin. Me and you, we can simply say, like, hey, I'm going to speculate. I'm going to say that historically the prices have moved up during this time post halving. And so I'll just hold on to my Bitcoin for a little longer prior to selling. I feel like I can get a better value at that point. That's our perspective. It's not a realistic business perspective. And so if you're selling PlayStation 5s and you're Walmart and you have a warehouse full of them and you're like, well, we're going to be a lot more demand for these in Christmas. That's not how that business works. You got to sell them and pay your employees, pay the lease. That's just how businesses work. Not to mention you have overhead, electricity, also employees as well. So not surprised the miners are selling. I'm just going to say this, that the amount of Bitcoin that is hitting these over-the-counter exchanges, the amount of sell pressure coming from the miners is going to not be sufficient to quail the demand. And we see this. This is why we open up the show every day. We talk about the net inflows, or every once in a while we talk about the outflows. But essentially, we talk about how much Bitcoin is being bought by institutions, by banks, by the largest companies. And these are in the thousands. And we're just not even there. We're mining hundreds of Bitcoin a day. And so there's going to be a pivotal moment where there just isn't enough Bitcoin, and it's going to cause a major supply shock, and also prices will reflect that.
You said quail, the price movement. Here's a quail.
Wow.
Anyways,
quail, whatever. Okay.
Anything. It's okay. Ashley, you want to step in and say something?
That one was really lame. I can't lie to you. That one sucked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Ashley. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Do you want to give a big shout out to Crickcats? $10 super chat said, "Hey Ashley, here's $10. buy some sunscreen so you don't get lobster leg next time when you go out
Thank you.
for
I
5
really
minutes in the sun.
appreciate it.
Congratulations."
I know. 5 minutes in the sun really gets me.
You got to put your microphone up closer to your mouth.
I can't move it. It don't move.
Or you also have a volume level.
You
over
can
there
also
as
move
well.
yourself. That is an option, Ashley.
You're a genius.
Yeah, I am such a genius that I decided to hand over our entire business account, Twitter account, to you. So we have this as well. El Salvador Bitcoin Holdings hit shocking $390 million. I mean, this is just, obviously, they've been buying one Bitcoin every single day. Not sure as far as what they've been buying outside of that one Bitcoin, but there is a website. You can go check yourself in real time how much Bitcoin they're holding and how much it is worth. I definitely think I'm still on that train, and we're going to see more nation states start to adopt Bitcoin, or at least hold it as a treasury asset on their balance sheet. Then I want to move into a little bit of Gary Gensler news here with the Ethereum ETF. So apparently, and I didn't watch this in its entirety, but Gary Gensler was questioned in front of Congress today. And so clarifying details on here is from Eleanor Tourette. Gensler said, over the course of this summer, talking about the Ethereum ETFs going live, to which Senator Haggerty said, by the end of the summer, which Gary said, I would envision sometimes over the course of the summer. And Haggerty said, if you're indicating to me that those applications will be approved by the end of the summer, I appreciate that. So earlier, a couple of weeks ago, we reported July 4th. I think that's out the window. I think September-ish, September 1st, end of the summer, obviously, is when we'll probably see an ETF for Ethereum go live. What kind of flows are we going to see?
All I heard was altcoin summer. Here we go. I'm going to have my rubber ducky and my inflatable. I'm going to the pool, baby, because you know what? These stake pool operators are going to be making money. Rocket Pool is going to be making money. Anything that's in the Ethereum ecosystem is going to be liquid and full of cash, just like the pools here and the day clubs in Las Vegas. If you haven't been to a day club here or a pool party in Las Vegas, well, the water goes barely past your knees and is full of urine. But with that said, I am looking forward to DeFi summer. There it is.
Have you and Alex Wells been hanging out? I mean, he just said sometimes I get so high I forget how to move. Have you guys?
No.
Going to?
I don't smoke anymore, man. I used to. I used to smoke a lot of weed, but
I plead the fifth or whatever number that one is.
You bought a fifth? Okay.
This has nothing to do with crypto, but man, oh man. Look at this, man. Shout out to Mr. Beast. Over 3 billion views in the last 28 days, 21 million subscribers in the last 28 days. Absolutely crushing the YouTube game. This is a beautiful example of if you put your mind to something and you put the time in, you can be very successful. I remember watching his older videos, where it was just him in a room, shitty audio, content wasn't very good. And that was like, 12 years ago, 8 to 12 years ago. And so shout out to Mr. Beast, just absolutely breaking records.
Did you see this here? Nope, it's gone.
No?
Oh no. The old video.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah, but it's gone.
It's gone.
He had some Bitcoin and it got stolen from him.
Mr. Beast did?
Lost it or something like that. Yeah.
Well, you know Spider-Man. Have you seen Spider-Man after the lockdown, Robin?
You are watching a master at work.
All right, let's talk about this. Then we'll get into the markets here. Bitcoin's 92-day consolidation is setting up a massive rally, according to some traders. Talking about, a few of them here said the longer the consolidation, the larger the expansion afterward. This is the longest one out of all the consolidations we've had. And once price breaks out of this consolidation range, we are going to witness a massive upside rally. As we take a look at the BTC chart, Bitcoin still looks good on the daily as we are trading above the cloud. And if we do decide to retest the upper bound of this cloud, we're looking at about 65,000 flat. If we throw on our volume, you see here, are there going to be bids coming in at that level? The bids are coming in now, right? We have a large volume node here right around, let's call it the bottom of this range, 66.6, going up to around 68.1. Now, of course, this is a combination of buyers and sellers. So depending on how price reacts to these levels, we can assume, hey, buyers or sellers. Obviously, yesterday, these were buyers stepping in. Today, it looks like sellers are stepping in. As a lot of indecision in the markets. I think people came in, Robin, expecting the Fed to cut rates, expecting the dollar to crash against other assets. That has not happened. The reverse has happened. We might not even see any rate cuts this year. And so economy outlook, although the S&P and then some stocks and commodities are making all-time highs, gold, silver. People are still a little iffy. They're walking on eggshells around the economy. They're not sure. You got people like Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett have billions of dollars of cash on the side. Now, ask yourself this. Companies and people at that level, why would you have that amount of cash on the side when you can deploy that capital and make it work for you and make money? There's obviously a reason for it, and that is what these are some of the things that investors and traders look at before they make a decision. Hey, am I going to deploy capital? Also, you take a look at what happened in 2020, a massive influx and injection of capital into not just the companies and markets, but retail, right? Your bank account. What did people do with that? They invested in it. They paid off their bills. They went into meme coins. We saw SHIB run to a $40 billion market cap. We saw HEX run to an $80 billion market cap. Are we going to see a capital infusion like that again? I'm not sure, which leads a lot of people to think that, hey, we might be too bullish on this cycle. What do you say to that?
Too bullish on this cycle?
I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. Some people are kind of connecting the dots.
I do think that you're going to get diminishing returns or at least subdued volume to the and giant moves to the upside. Let's be real. At some point, the Bitcoin halvings and the cycles are not going to produce these large 5Xs in prices, 3Xs in prices. I mean, we've seen, if you look back in history, from 2012, 2016, 2020, where the price was prior to the halving, post halving, giant run up in prices. But every cycle it has been mitigated. It has come in at a lower level than the cycle before. And so the trend is going to continue. It's not going to be broken. We're not going to all of a sudden have $1.8 million Bitcoin this cycle. Like that could have been a number or a return that we would have got back in 2012. That could have been the percentage gains, but now we've moved into a time where the market cap has grown so heavily that the amount of money in the system just can't keep those returns going forward. And so will there be less bull market? Yeah, I think so.
I will say this too, Robin, is you see what Michael Saylor is doing, right? He is raising debt, raising dollars, a depreciating asset against other commodities. He's using that and he's buying a commodity that doesn't inflate, Bitcoin. And some people do gold, silver, whatever it is. And we're going to see more of that. As the fake money, the house of cards continues to stack higher, we know the house of cards is going to fall sooner or later. So the smart people, what they're going to do is this. They're going to put money into the stock market, right? Into dollar-denominated assets like stocks and whatever, bonds, whatever it is. Make their money, remove that, and convert that into hard assets, right? Actual commodities, gold, silver, Bitcoin, maybe other crypto assets like Ethereum. Who knows? I think we're going to see more of that, and I think we're going to see that accelerated as well as we see more companies do what Michael Saylor is doing, as we see more people exit the financial system that is on the verge of collapsing. And when I say on the verge, I'm probably talking maybe 2 or 3 decades. But when you talk about how massive it's going to be huge. And by you being in this space right now, you are so far ahead of the rest of the population of the world. You're going to be in such a good place when inevitably the fiat system, the system of, hey, we're going to issue toilet paper, trust us that it has value. Those days will come to an end. And you do not want to be left holding a big bag of toilet paper. You want to be left holding a big bag of commodities, hard assets, things that cannot be manipulated, things that cannot just be issued out of thin air. Gold, you have to mine it, right? You have to create it. It's used for things. Silver, same thing. Bitcoin, we ought to talk about that all the time. You're going to see more and more of that happening. On top of that, you have a change in the guard, the largest generation ever, the baby boomers, who control around $74 trillion in assets. 10,000 of them are retiring a day. And I think the number's like 2,000 are dying a day. And I'm not making light of that at all. But guess what happens? It's called a wealth transfer. All that money gets transferred to their kids, their grandkids, the next generation. And guess what? The younger we get, the more down we go to the generations. Look, I mean, I'm a millennial. Robin's a millennial. Ashley is the youngest out of the 3 of us. Ashley, are you excited about investing in bonds? And I know you kind of talked about, and I don't know I'll let you share it if you want to, but are you more technology driven? And does crypto and Bitcoin excite you? Or are you like, yeah, let me just stick it in a bond and earn 4% a year?
If I'm being honest, I don't fully understand bonds. I know I have them. I don't know how the hell they work. But I be playing on my phone. If my money's on my phone, I'll play.
Bingo. My money is on my phone, right?
Yeah.
And so
I think the reality of it is that, when I was fresh out of high school, when I was in college, you still had to go to the bank. You still had to walk in. You had to make your deposits. The whole drive up ATM deposit cash. That thing was that was only around the last, I guess, was it like 10 years or so. So, we're slowly moving away from the analog system where you had to physically do things, and everything's digitized and on the internet. And so money digitized and on the internet just makes a lot of sense. And not only having it show up as a number on a screen, but let's move it digitally as well. That's the big difference. There are some artificial apps out there like Zelle, which, effectively move money within the system, but it's not revolutionary here. You can't Zelle people international. You can't Zelle over a certain amount of money. You still got to be KYC. You still got to have a bank account. You still got to go. You know what I mean? Like there's still it's better than it was 12 years ago, but only marginally, only by a little bit. And so what you're saying, David, is that all of those use cases or all those examples that you put in with major companies getting exposure, and that there's a shift and a surge of money that is leaving baby boomers and moving into younger millennials, that is the liquidity that's going to push us to the next bull market. Just the market cap of crypto is just, it's already large. It's almost a $1.5 trillion. I do think that we get a 4x from here. I think at the very peak, which would put Bitcoin right around $250,000. I think that we get there. Maybe we fall a little short. Maybe we get $180,000 Bitcoin. Maybe we outperform. Maybe we get over $300,000 Bitcoin. Either way, 100K, that's kind of like locked up in the bank. Like that's coming. Remember, we were at $74,000 Bitcoin just a couple months ago. And how far away is that from $100,000? I mean, realistically, it was 25K, and we're not far off of there. And we are early post halving. And as you mentioned, we have all these different catalysts. And the theme of today's show was the crypto presidential scenario that's unfolding. And you have both candidates taking donations for their candidacy in crypto. And what does that mean? That means, well, they're getting paid in crypto. So they can't just go out here and just try to cut out the whole system. They can't go out here and ban crypto. You're not going to get elected off the back of the money that was donated to you in crypto and then go turn around and just shut down the industry. And so the future looks bright for the U.S. I just think that we're still a couple months away, but I think within the next couple months, we start to see those first inclinations of that parabolic run up. We get maybe a couple candles. We get that $85,000 Bitcoin. We get that $90,000 Bitcoin. Maybe we pull back. Maybe we get a little parabolic and then we come back and retest. But the thing is, we're gonna get there very soon. And it's not just I have a feeling. No, the numbers are saying it. The inflows are coming in. The companies are buying. There's only so much Bitcoin out there. And at some point, very, very soon, the price is going to be reflected to the upside. And so it's just a matter of like, well, all right, when is this thing going to kick off? There's also a lot of leverage in the system putting downward pressure. That leverage will get called, will be cleared. And then from that point, it'll move up. But remember, the Bitcoin, majority of Bitcoin, people aren't selling it. Majority of people that are holding Bitcoin are not going to say, you know what, when this thing gets to $81,000, I'm selling. Like, no. So the thing is the only thing really holding that price down is leverage, positioning, whales, making money off of people getting overexcited and overzealous. But at the end of the day, people realistically aren't trying to exit Bitcoin at this point in the market at $80,000. And so when we get to $80,000, some people take profits, but not going to be enough to suppress the price.
I agree. News just came in. More, President Biden's so pro crypto that he is renominating one of the biggest detractors to crypto at the SEC, SEC Commissioner Caroline Crenshaw, to a second term at the agency. She's been very outspoken against crypto. She always votes against crypto. She voted against the Ethereum ETF. She voted against the Bitcoin ETF. And well, guess what? She's going to get nominated again. Such pro-crypto, man. So pro-crypto. With that being said, Robin, take a look at the markets.
All right. So we got Bitcoin coming in at 66,800. And you can see we've had a little bit of volatility in the last 24 hours. We did go up and test 69K 24 hours ago. Also moved down to 67. We've been trending down. We were down to 66.4 earlier this morning and rebounded. Take a look at the 1 week. Not that good looking, right? I mean, you can see that we lost the 70K support. We did hang out here for 2 days, right at 70K. We lost that. So the trend might feel like, well, you know what? Bitcoin's not doing too well. But then you zoom out to the 1 month. You can see here a month ago we were at 61,000.
Should go to the 1 year, bro.
And then you zoom out again. You look at the 1 year.
Right.
I mean, you were 2x. If you would have bought Bitcoin at any point in time before you would have bought Bitcoin prior to December, you would have been a 2x. I mean, that, like, what a magnificent hold here, right? Just magnificent.
Love that.
So beautiful. I mean, honestly, like, we always crap on the returns on Bitcoin, right? You always hear people like, well, am I too late for Bitcoin? Bro, all you had to do, you put 5,000 in Bitcoin in November and, well, you'd be sitting on 10 grand. If you got a bond, cash that damn thing out, buy Bitcoin, wait maybe 6 months, and boom.
You hear that? Sorry.
And it's just, I read a really interesting article, and this is the absolute worst financial advice.
Was it from Jim Cramer or Dave Ramsey?
No. And so I highly recommend you don't do this. But I was looking at it, and I don't have it pulled up, but someone just maxed out every single credit card over the course of a year and just kept buying Bitcoin with it. And then
Hell yeah.
They just maxed out every single one, pulled out as much cash as they could, and then just kept buying Bitcoin. Now, remember, the APY is around 24% for a credit card
Per year.
And so this guy was posting his returns on a month-to-month basis, and over a year, he's still over over 2x'd his money, taking into the account that he's paying 24% interest on his debt. Now, remember, Michael Saylor borrowed $1 billion. That $1 billion loan he had, that there was question of getting margin called when he did that at the last bull market.
Silvergate?
Yeah, the last bull market. He borrowed that at 0% interest. So, not saying leverage credit card debt.
That's how. I don't know if you know the story about CZ, but the guy is by the way, 2 more months till he's out. CZ was at one point the wealthiest person in crypto. And if you listen and read into his backstory, sold his house, sold everything, put it all into Bitcoin, made massive gains, started Binance, and look where he's at now. And I agree with Robin. I'm not saying go screw up your credit or go sell your house or sell one of your kids or your kidneys to buy Bitcoin.
But I mean, honestly, if
you know what, fuck it, sell a kidney. You got 2 of them. You only need one.
If you were degen enough, you sell your house, you take all of the profits, you put it into Bitcoin. You're renting an apartment. And then you say in 8 years, I'll move out of my apartment, I'll buy a home. And in 8 years from now, I'll sell half my Bitcoin and see what kind of house you get.
I will sell my house and I will take it all, put it in Bitcoin, move in with you. There's 5 of us.
You're always leveraging my house.
Well, you have a nice house. Yeah. And then I'll give you 20% of the profits I make. Deal?
No.
Okay. Okay. All jokes aside though, this, we talk about, is this the last chance to really make life-changing money? It could potentially can be. Right? As the crypto ecosystem gets more integrated into finance, traditional finance, those 50, 20, 50Xs, law of diminishing returns, they're going to keep getting smaller. Then you're going to have to start being happy with a 1.5X, a 2X, a 3X. It's still good. You're in a system that is built correctly from the ground up, that is not relying on government and a Federal Reserve and a Treasury printing fake money. And so, but just be smart. Just be smart. Don't fuck it up. Be smart. Whatever extra you have after paying your bills, start to put it into solid projects. And if you don't have the time to research them, throw it into Bitcoin, man. Throw it into Bitcoin, wait 10 years, you'll have a lot of money. Very, very simple. Don't overcomplicate it.
I'm curious where the chat would line up on this. And so I ask you, if you had a second house, and maybe some of you do, if you had a second house and you could just easily sell the house and take the cash and buy Bitcoin, would you rather hold a property for the next 10 years, a second property? Now, I'm not saying move out and go stay at Gam Gam's house
Or Robbins.
or my house, but if you had a second property and you didn't have to go through the headaches of getting a real estate and getting the asking price, fixing it up, but you could just instantly snap your fingers, convert what you think the fair value price of the house is straight into Bitcoin. Would you do that? Put a 1 in the chat if you would sell a second home at ease and convert it over to Bitcoin, or put a 2 in the chat if you'd rather hold a second property for the next 8 to 10 years. I'm curious where you guys would land on this.
One was sell the house.
One will sell the house.
Yeah, sell the house. Sell the house. Sell the other house too.
See, Ashley put a 17 in there.
Interesting number. Did we take a look at the altcoins?
Not yet.
Look at that.
So I'll take a quick peek here at the altcoin market. So a lot of red. So Bitcoin's obviously down 3%, which has negatively pushed down the altcoin market. Nothing in the green in the altcoins. Litecoin is up 1%, Toncoin's up 2%. But outside of that, it's a lot of selling going on in the alts here. Arweave down 13%, Bonk down 10%, Stacks down 10%, Akash 10%. So the tokens that are all down 5% or more is pretty much half of the altcoin market in the top 100. And so there's really not a lot of upside here on the alts.
Stay on that.
I was going to show you the on the weekly here, 32% down, 30%. So these are down quite substantially. A lot of these are crap projects though. The ones that are down the most are the ones that are like the Floki, Dog with Hat. You do have Arweave and Wormhole here. Athena. I'm not familiar with the Athena, but
High stablecoin yields.
Nice. You wanted me to take a look at the 24-hour?
Keep it there. Out of those first 5, which one right now at current prices, what they're down, which would be your best bet?
I like Stacks and Ondo. I'll say this though, maybe Bonk would be actually a good play right here. These alts have rebounded pretty strong, and not due to any fundamentals, but from a very short-term time horizon. It feel like the memes have been almost a leverage play on Bitcoin, right? You see Bitcoin draw down 5%, maybe 6% over a course of a week, and we see that the altcoins spill off a lot harder, right? And as an example here, Bonk down 20% on the weekly, but I would expect if you picked up Bonk right now. If you picked it up right now, it's down 20% on the week. If we see Bitcoin move up to $70,000, I would expect Bonk to 50% return, 60% returns on the upside, right? And then if you take a look on the 1 year, these peaks here have lined up with big run-ups in Bitcoin. And so you see here, you went from massive. I don't even know what this was a 3x here, and that was back in February, so just 4 months ago. And I think in February is when, what did Bitcoin do in February? So it 3x'd in February, and so you look back here, yeah. So here in February, Bitcoin went from 40,000 to 60,000, right? So you had a 50% run up on Bitcoin. And then you get a 3x from Bonk. So just to show you that maybe there's a little bit more upside. So if you like taking on that risk and that volatility, maybe the meme coin, but from solid projects, if I wanted to get a good entry price, I think Ondo and Stacks are really sexy plays here.
I'm super bullish on Ondo. And just kind of give you a year look. Okay, these are the crypto bubbles over the last year. Look at these returns, right? Look at Bonk, up 9,000%, 90x. Pepe, 13x, right? 100 or 1300% gains. Caspa 700% gains. Jasmine 900% gains. Floki 900, near 400. And so it's been a good year in crypto. You've made money. Your portfolios might be down in the short term. Let's just keep everything in perspective here. And so it's been a good year, and it's going to get even better as we are just in the very beginning of the bull market, if not maybe inching towards the center of the the middle of the bull market, but still, things are looking good. A lot of money is being made. A lot of money is going to continue to be made, which is why it's important to make sure you're up to date with all the information and news that you need to make those decisions. You know, speaking of altcoins, I am so excited. Today's video. If you're a Caspa and or ICP fan, you're going to want to watch today's video. I put up Caspa against ICP, and I picked the winner. And I talked about three things. I talked about price action, real world utility and use case, and technology, right? So who edges one over the other in those three scenarios? I picked the winner. You're going to want to watch the video. Probably going to piss some of you off, going to make some of you happy, but you're going to have to watch the video to find out. Curious what you guys think. Which one do you think I picked? You think I picked ICP or Caspa? Let me know in the comment section. And also, when you watch that video, if you're in the live show right now, put a brawl on there so we can we keep a tally. We have a tally chart in the back, and then at the very end, the winner gets to stay at Robin's house for 3 nights and 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about Ripple here really quick. So Ripple CEO names most important day for XRP holders. Of course, Brad Garlinghouse. According to him, his company is approaching the very end of its long-lasting legal battle with the SEC. Garlinghouse doesn't know the exact date when the lawsuit is going to be resolved, but he jokingly named September 21st as the end of summer. Gary Gensler referring to end of summer a lot here with the ETH ETF and with XRP. And then we have this as well. XRP Ledger gets Ethereum boost. Ripple launches new sidechain. Unveiling of the XRPL EVM sidechain, a new solution designed to bridge the XRP Ledger with Ethereum virtual machine, is going to be going live. Facilitating this integration is the XRPL EVM sidechain bridge, which will utilize wrapped XRP as both the native asset and gas token. You bullish on this?
I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for.
I mean, everyone wants interoperability with Ethereum.
It's coming. Will people use it? Will there be demand for it? I don't like wrapped assets on chains. I understand it's necessary, and
not if you're ICP.
Cross-chain interoperability is very difficult technology to do correctly without having vulnerabilities on security. And can it be done? Yes, there are chains that have done it. You mentioned ICP, but I'll say this is still early in the game. And so even though chains are running it right now, I know that's a lot of what CCIP is doing with Chainlink, ICP. There's other protocols as well, but I'll just say that it's still young in the game. So I wouldn't go all in and bet the house on it just because you never know what materializes. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of vulnerabilities, even with native on-chain. Hopefully it's not anything that's too detrimental to chains that have these issues. But you look back, I mean, even Bitcoin had vulnerabilities early in the days. So did Ethereum. And so nobody is free of incorrect code. But with that said, I feel like the top projects have tested it out. You know, we talked to Chainlink when we were down there at Consensus in Austin, Texas. And you know what? The CCIP, sure, it might have just got rolled out recently, but this has been in the development for like 7 years, they said. And so it's something they've been working on. It's not like something they woke up, 6 months ago and said, hey, you know what? Let's roll the CCIP thing out. It's been something that they've been building for years and years and working with other companies, particularly in TradFi. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that interoperability is coming. And I think that XRP obviously has to offer it, right? It's the same thing. Like if you have a company and you have an app, you're going to have an iOS version, right? Whether or not you disagree with Apple, at some point, you're going to be like, you know what? The market wants it. Let's launch there. We'd be stupid not to. Market wants to use Ethereum. and it would be dumb not to have interoperability there, especially if you launch a side chain and wrap your own token on it. So
Yeah, my thesis for XRP remains the same. I'm bullish on Ripple and what they're doing. Not so bullish on the XRP token. We know they've given up on the Liquidity Hub project. That's gone out the window. We know all eyes are on the stable coin now that they're launching, and so I don't know. But love what Ripple is doing. Just the token as an investment for me, not something I'm too excited about.
So what are we expecting from the old Twitter handle today? What's going on? I know you're in control of X.
We're gonna see some behind the scenes of Robin.
I do need to dig through my phone for some behind the scenes. I digged last night for yours, David, but
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Okay.
So I need to find something of Robin, but we'll see.
Stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter if you want to see what shenanigans Ashley's going to be up to for the next 21 hours. Should be exciting.
Are you counting down? You excited for your Twitter back?
I'm so excited. Yeah. Oh, to get it back? Absolutely. Yeah. I do have some videos as well. You know what I'm saying? Funny videos. Anyways, that's all we got for today. Make sure to watch our video that comes out in about 1 hour. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be really, really good. And come back tomorrow for Forest Friday. It's going to be a good show. And with that being said, Ashley, gotta wait for me to do the tornado.
I don't want to wait.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Make sure to come back tomorrow. Same place, same time. Until then, love you guys. Peace.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar.